What if one man's dream could shake an entire industry? Lost Soul Aside began as a solo project, and now, nearly a decade later, it's poised to become one of the most important action RPGs of the generation. With lightning-fast combat, multi-dimensional storytelling, and a journey powered by passion, this is more than a game, it's a statement. And in 2025, it might just redefine what indie ambition really means. After nearly a decade in development, Lost Soul Aside is finally on the horizon, and it's shaping up to be one of the most exciting action RPGs of the year. What began as a one-man passion project by Chinese developer Yongbing has grown into a PlayStation-backed spectacle that blends the stylish combat of Devil May Cry with the emotional, cinematic scope of Final Fantasy XV. Set to release on May 30th, 2025, on both PlayStation 5 and PC, the game represents a defining moment for Eastern indie development breaking into the global mainstream. This isn't just a release, it's the culmination of a vision that began with a single, breathtaking trailer. That first reveal captivated audiences with its high-octane combat, cinematic presentation, and most notably, the revelation that it was all developed by one person. It became an instant symbol of ambition and raw talent in game development circles. At its heart, Lost Soul Aside is a fast-paced, high-style action game centered on the protagonist Kaiser and his sentient, shape-shifting weapon companion, Arena. This unique duo forms the core of the gameplay loop, with Arena transforming into a variety of weapon swords, scythes, lances, and more mid-combo to allow real-time style changes and seamless combat transitions. The result is a system that rewards mastery, improvisation, and kinetic aggression. For example, players can launch into an air combo using a twin blade form, seamlessly switch mid-air to a heavy greatsword for a ground slam finisher, and then follow up with a teleportation dash attack, creating a chain of moves that not only looks spectacular, but also tests timing and precision. Whether you're launching enemies into the air for juggle combos or deflecting with a perfectly timed parry, the combat invites you to look good while fighting hard. And beyond aesthetics, every motion and skill has weight, timing, and tactical significance. The controls are designed to be responsive and smooth, with animation-canceling mechanics and fluid directional dodges that allow even complex moves to feel intuitive. Every move feels like a natural extension of the player's intent, which is critical when juggling multiple enemy types or adjusting strategies mid-battle. Mastery is rewarded not only through better performance rankings, but through faster enemy takedowns, bonus loot, and the unlocking of secret combat trials scattered across dimensions. These trials often introduce unique rule sets such as environmental hazards or limited weapon usage that challenge players to experiment with new tactics. Players seeking a challenge can engage in arena gauntlets, time-based missions, or difficulty modifiers that further push their reflexes and strategic thinking. These advanced modes can unlock exclusive rewards, cosmetic gear, and even lore fragments, tying the gameplay directly into the broader world building. Each weapon carries its own tempo, moveset, and strategic application. Players can unlock these weapons and upgrades through a combination of story progression, combat milestones, and an in-game upgrade tree tied to Arena's evolution. As players advance, they gain access to enhanced forms, passive abilities, and new finishers, allowing them to tailor their combat approach to specific enemy types or personal playstyle preferences. Some allow for crowd control, others are ideal for one-on-one precision strikes. Beyond the standard style meter that ranks your performance, the game also includes ability synergies unlocked via progression trees that let players build custom combos by fusing weapon techniques. The combat complexity scales with player investment, offering a learning curve that begins forgiving but eventually mirrors the depth of genre grades like Bayonetta or Ninja Gaiden. For players looking to dominate, frame-perfect execution and mechanical awareness will matter. Arena's utility goes beyond combat. It morphs to serve traversal purposes, becoming wings for gliding, a hoverboard for sliding, or temporary platforms for scaling vertical terrain. While many of these sequences are scripted to maintain cinematic pacing, others incorporate light puzzle solving, encouraging players to explore and think vertically. These moments break up the pace between intense battles and add to the game's interactive world design, reinforcing the bond between Kaiser and Arena in both narrative and gameplay. There are even whispers that Arena may have its own arc or evolving nature throughout the story. The potential emotional depth between the two is hinted at in several teaser scenes, suggesting the line between tool and companion may blur further as the story progresses. Environmental interactivity is woven seamlessly into the traversal mechanics already embedded in Arena's design. Destructible objects, shifting platforms, and elemental hazards are used not only to challenge player movement, but also to open up new layers of combat and exploration. These dynamic elements are often placed strategically, encouraging quick thinking and adaptive strategies mid-battle. For instance, Arena might be used to extinguish flames blocking a path, or transform into a grappling hook to swing across collapsing ledges, extending the fluid traversal system into puzzle-like moments. Hidden arenas, shortcuts, or alternate routes are frequently tucked behind these interactive challenges, rewarding observant players. Optional environmental puzzles also grant access to lore fragments, crafting materials, and rare upgrade tokens that directly reinforce the core progression loop. This holistic design approach ensures that no part of the environment feels static, making every area feel alive and reactive to the player's choices. The story unfolds across multiple dimensions as Kaiser seeks to save his sister's soul from the Voidrak's interdimensional entities that consume worlds and twist reality. The plot blends personal stakes with cosmic horror, framing Kaiser's journey as one of redemption, trauma, and the blurred line between dreams and memory. Environments are narratively motivated. The ruins of a forgotten civilization might reflect Kaiser's internal loss. A floating city under siege could symbolize his fractured psyche. This alignment between story and level design is key to the game's emotional cohesion. Players may also encounter alternate versions of characters or environments, lending weight to the theme of fractured identity. Flashbacks, dream sequences, and fractured dialogue scenes are designed to further blur the boundaries between truth and illusion, drawing players deeper into Kaiser's psychological turmoil. The Voidraks themselves are not just mindless enemies. The lore suggests they are fragments of lost realities, manifestations of forgotten souls, which adds weight to each encounter. And then there's the dragon, a massive, recurring figure that may be the key to Arena's origin or a corrupted form of Kaiser's own future. Subplots about warring interdimensional factions, such as the Shattered Crown Syndicate and the Order of Nystra, political unrest triggered by dimensional instability, and ancient prophecies that predict the rise or fall of reality, weaving champions add texture to the otherwise character-driven plot, grounding the emotional arc in a larger mythos. Dialogue choices, some of which offer branching paths and minor consequences and optional lore pickups, will further flesh out this sprawling multiverse. Lore tablets, echo memories, and even battle-triggered hallucinations are expected to offer players multiple ways to absorb the rich history of this world. Development-wise, the game's journey is nothing short of legendary. Yangbing began Lost Soulside in 2014, working alone on a passion project inspired by Final Fantasy XV. The original demo, released in 2016, caught the internet by storm and led to the creation of Altizero Games. Partnering with Sony through the China Hero project, Bing was able to scale up development while keeping his original vision intact. Today, the game stands as one of the China Hero project's flagship titles, an example of what can happen when talent meets opportunity. For many aspiring developers, it's a story of hope, proof that one person's vision can evolve into something global. The team behind Lost Soulside is still relatively lean, about 40 to 50 members, but what they lack in numbers, they make up for in ambition. Much of their early work involved upgrading internal pipelines and refining their tools to ensure scalability and performance on next-gen platforms. They also transitioned from Unreal Engine 4 to its later versions, though not Unreal Engine 5, and replaced PS4 assets with PS5-ready visuals. Particle effects, real-time lighting, facial animation, and texture fidelity have all seen massive upgrades since the first reveal. Some areas have been completely redesigned to better fit the new narrative tone and combat tempo. Dynamic lighting systems and reactive environments were added to enhance immersion, allowing battles to feel more alive and responsive. Boss encounters have been reworked several times, incorporating feedback from Sony testers and public reactions to demo footage. These fights now feature multi-phase mechanics, environmental hazards, and even dialogue interruptions that mirror cinematic storytelling. Combat clarity, enemy behavior, and camera control have also seen polished passes, each tweak bringing the game closer to its triple ambitions. According to the developers, some bosses will adapt to player behavior, requiring on-the-fly strategy changes and deep combat understanding. Additional layers, such as elemental resistances and real-time stamina variation, give each encounter a unique rhythm and challenge. Community response to Lost Soul Aside has been overwhelmingly supportive. Longtime followers of the project admire its underdog roots, while newcomers are attracted by the stunning visuals and gameplay promises. Reddit threads, YouTube breakdowns, especially those sparked by the 2023 Combat Showcase trailer, and Discord speculation circles have dissected trailers frame by frame, uncovering lore details, animation improvements, and mechanical depth. Many fans see the game as a beacon of hope for stylish action genre that often struggles for mainstream visibility in an era of Souls-likes and open-world RPGs. The hype is authentic, built not on marketing cycles, but on sheer passion from viewers who have followed the project for years. Some creators have even started lore theory series and character analysis based purely on existing footage, showcasing the hunger for deep, story-rich experiences. For example, YouTuber Fox's Den has produced multi-part breakdowns examining Kazur's motivations and Arena's potential origins, while the Lost Lore Aside fan wiki continues to compile speculative timelines and cross-dimensional theories based on trailer clues. Altizero has embraced this community, responding to player concerns, adjusting features, and even teasing side content. Reportedly, the team has discussed the idea of a boss rush mode, challenge arenas, and additional playable characters as part of future DLC. The Digital Deluxe Edition includes cosmetic unlocks, an XP booster, and arena skins, while rumors persist about a full collector's edition featuring an art book, behind-the-scenes documentary, and a physical statue of Kazur and Arena. One developer hinted that post-launch events may tie into real-world holidays or in-game time cycles. A community event system is also under exploration, which may include time-limited challenges and leaderboard-based achievements. Post-launch, the game could grow even further. While no official release window has been confirmed, developers have publicly acknowledged their intention to support the title with narrative-rich DLC and gameplay additions, suggesting an ongoing roadmap is already in motion. The developers have hinted at plans for world-expanding DLC that could explore the backstories of side characters or even dive into the origins of the Voidrax. The game's dimensional travel concept provides near-limitless creative flexibility, potentially allowing each DLC to feel like its own unique thematic episode. Additionally, some insiders suggest that if successful, Lost Soul Aside might become a foundational universe for a franchise, possibly branching into spin-off games, animated series, or even film adaptations. Strategic partnerships with animation studios and international publishers are reportedly being explored. In a developer Q&A earlier this year, Altizero hinted at discussions with Chinese animation studio Light Chaser and a yet-to-be-named Western distributor, aiming to expand the universe through multimedia storytelling and cross-platform publishing support. At its core, Lost Soul Aside is a love letter to the golden age of action RPGs, or genre often defined by its flair, challenge, and character-first design. But it also pushes forward, weaving in psychological storytelling, community interaction, and cross-cultural ambition. It's not just a game, it's a statement. And if it lives up to the potential it has shown so far, it could do more than succeed. It could inspire. For a title that began as a single developer's dream, the journey alone already makes it a historic achievement. More importantly, it may pave the way for future international collaborations and inspire studios across Asia and beyond to aim higher. With only a short time left until release, the gaming world watches with cautious optimism and a hopeful eye on what could become a defining creative moment for modern action RPGs. Will Lost Soul Aside deliver? If the heart poured into its decade-long development is any indication, it just might become one of 2025's defining games and a cult favorite for years to come. It signals that creative risks rooted in personal storytelling and bold mechanics can still break through in a saturated market. What do you think? Is this your most anticipated game of the year?